thanks a lot for taking this time. It's an honor to have Canada's national junior team coach on the phone with me, talking and helping out players all across Canada and also the U.S. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day.
Thanks, Pete. It's an honor to be able to come on the line, and I know that a coach is only successful as the players that he has, and I know you certainly helped me at university. You're a great goaltender for me, and I appreciate that fact. And it's good to have a chance to come back on the phone here with you.
Thank you. Who would be the top three, if we say like the top three players, if you could just say, what were the top three players that ever played for me, who would they be in a nutshell? Who are the top three players you think of?
Pete, I'd never answer that question. I have too many great players that have played for me. If I can answer the question on other guys, I've had lots of real good players. I think you go Joffrey Lupul, you go Chris Russell, you go Dorsett, you go Helm, you go Barker, you go Ennis. There's so many great players that have played, and those are the guys that are, maybe playing the pro hockey. MacArthur. There's lots of other guys that haven't gone on to the pro game that have been just as great for me. That it's how do you judge greatness? Is greatness just judged by where you go with pro hockey, or is it judged by the character and what you bring to the game? And I've been fortunate. I've had a lot of really great players.
Who would be? These don't have to be the top three, but maybe if you could give me an example of one player, and what was it about that player that made him different, or made him unique, or made him successful?
If I look at the different players that I've had, like I have had lots of different stories where players maybe didn't get drafted in the Bantam draft and have come to me and have turned into great players, and not from my coaching, but have just developed more and a lot because of their attitudes. And I have one fellow, Derek Dorsett, is a player that at 15 he didn't make AAA midget. At 16 he got let go from every AAA midget team in Saskatchewan, and he doesn't play AAA till he's 17. And by that time, you'd think he wasn't going to have much of a career. And it's not that he grew. He's a 5'11" guy, maybe 185 pounds, so he didn't grow an awful lot. But he had an incredible heart, and he came and it was just his drive and will to be a player that separated him from other guys. I've had a guy like Tyler Ennis who didn't get drafted, but had great skills. But along with the great skills, he possessed the attitude and the confidence that he was always going to be a player. It didn't matter what anybody said to him. He was going to be a player, and he believed that. But he combined that with his skills. Like, he had to work on his skills, and turned out to be a player. You have another guy like Chris Russell, who was a small defenseman, and you go back a few years, there weren't that many small defensemen playing, and he came into the Western League probably at 5'9", 145 pounds, and he was able to play against 20-year-olds, and the only way he could play is with his mind, and he had great athletic ability. He was such a great skater. But even being a great skater, it takes more than that. It takes the compete level. We played, Red Deer one year in the playoffs, and their focus was to get on Russell and finish every check on him, and he got really beat up in that series, but he kept playing. And so it's a toughness mentally to withstand things and go through. I've had guys, Matt Keatley. Matt Keatley was a goaltender that, was just splitting with the other AAA goaltender at 17. They decided he wanted to be a player. Like, we took him to the Memorial Cup. He loved the experience. And the only reason we took him was our backup got hurt, so I just had to take somebody, and he was a local guy, so that was the only reason. And we go to the Cup, and he decided he wanted to be a player the next year. He came back. He lost 30 pounds. But in every story, the common link is these guys wanted to be players. They made a decision inside themselves that nothing was going to stop them from being players, and that's why they turned out to be players. It was their drive and their commitment to the game that separated them from all the other players. And I could ask every player in my dressing room, do you guys want to play in the NHL? They all want to. All want to. But the ones that get there, they separate themselves because they're so committed to it.